This is a modification that I've made to my RTA 300 Triton router table. Now when I got it, I just got the table, I fitted it to my Mark III Triton saw table. Then I got a little bit tired of taking the other table off, putting a router table on and vice versa, especially halfway through a job. So what I did was I made up a simple bench on wheels out of ordinary 3v2, and I just fitted the table to the bench. Well, it works quite good. Also, from the original router table, I modified it slightly. What I did was I put in a new slide that will take all my units, and I've put it pretty close. When I made the slide up, I've made it up out of ordinary MBF, and I put it up pretty close to the cutter. And now that will do a lot of all my units that I wish to put on the table. It's quite simple, just bolted it on, and I find it much easier when I don't have to keep changing tables all the time. If I want to use my router table, leave it set up, go to my saw, come back to my router table, and I'm glad that I did it. So what I've done, I've just put two drawers underneath the whole most of it, and I'm quite happy with what I've done. With the workbench, the Triton Route Table RTA 300, that I actually made a separate workbench, I've been asked to clarify a little bit more clearly how I actually made it. This is what I'm going to do on this video. The main frame I took off YouTube, the design from Shane:1. So if you type Shane:1, how to build a workbench, he will show you exactly how to do it. The only thing I did, I didn't use the miter joints on the end, I just used the straight butt joints on the end. He'll show you the both. But that's the frame, very sturdy. As I said in my previous video, I put it on wheels, and that makes it portable around the shop. Now, the other adjustment that I did was I put my own table on. So I've just got a bit of MBF, okay, and I measured the space in the middle. I've put a slot in it. I fitted a channel pretty close to the end, and that's quite simple. As you can see, I just put 4 bolts in it, countersunk screws in it, and that's how it's attached to the table. Now the table has just got a 16mm piece of flat board on the top of it. How I actually attached the table to that board that I put on top, what I did was, on the end you'll see a channel. Now I'll try and get in with this. You may be able to see that I put a bit of square wood in it. I made it a pretty good fit, and then what I did was I screwed up from the bottom of the table top and screwed into the wood. and the wood just holds it down. So I did that on the 4 corners. Okay, we're looking now at the bottom of the table. What I did with the piece that I put on the top, I've cut a square out to take the router. Now the router I'm using is a Triton, okay, which has got to be the best router I've seen. If you're going to buy a router, you may as well spend a little bit more and buy a good one, and this has got to be the best. So you can see what I've done is I've just put 2 boards, flats, and then I've just bolted that through the top of the table, and you'll see the screws at the top of the table, and that's how I hold the table on. So you've got to get the board and you've got to cut it. The other thing you'll notice, you'll see 2 holes on the bottom of the table. I lined those up so that I can, when I put the fence on, I can actually use those to screw the fence up from the bottom. Otherwise you've got no access to the sides, you've got to come up through the bottom. To put the power on, all I've done is just put a power board on the side, screwed it onto the side, and then when I want to turn it on, just switch it on, and that's the cord. The other thing is, as you notice, that I've just put a couple of big bins in the bottom to take all my equipment, feather boards, etc.